in a move that has sent shockwaves through the realms of royal protocol and reignited the long-simmering debate over the appropriateness of the Duchess of Sussex's sartorial choices. Meghan Markle has found herself at the center of a raging controversy after being photographed wearing a daring, provocative ensemble during a recent visit to a primary school in Lagos, Nigeria. The offending outfit in question? A figure-hugging black mini dress that stopped well above the knees, paired with a plunging neckline that left little to the imagination, and sky-high stiletto heels more befitting a Hollywood red carpet than an educational institution filled with impressionable young minds. The images, which quickly went viral across social media and news outlets around the globe, have sparked a fierce backlash from critics and royal traditionalists, who have lambasted the former actress-turned-duchess for what they perceive as a flagrant disregard for decorum and an utter lack of respect for the cultural norms of the African nation she was visiting. It was a sartorial slap in the face, a brazen act of defiance against even the most basic standards of modesty and cultural sensitivity, fumed Candace Marlborough, a longtime royal watcher and author of the scathing expose Meghan Unhinged, the truth about the Duchess of Descent. For a member of the royal family to parade around a Nigerian primary school dressed like she was attending an avant-garde fashion show in Milan, it's not only inappropriate, it's downright insulting to the very people and institutions she was supposedly there to celebrate. The backlash against Markle has been swift and unrelenting, with a torrent of criticism pouring in from all corners, ranging from outraged parents and educators to cultural pundits and even high-ranking Nigerian government officials. While we welcomed the Duchess of Sussex's visit with open arms and a spirit of goodwill, her choice of attire was not only ill-advised but deeply disrespectful to the cultural mores and traditions that we hold so dear, remarked Chief Adebayo Shitu, Nigeria's Minister of Information and Culture, in an official statement released to the media. According to multiple eyewitness accounts, Markle's revealing ensemble caused more than a few raised eyebrows and dropped jaws as she toured the Lagos Township Primary School, with teachers and administrators scrambling to shield young pupils from the Duchess's daring display. It was absolutely shocking. You could see the teachers ushering the children away and trying to avert their eyes, recounted Abimbola Adeyemi, a parent of a student at the school who was present during Markle's visit. There were more than a few scandalized looks and murmurs of disbelief rippling through the crowd. It was incredibly inappropriate, not to mention disrespectful to the cultural norms and values we strive to uphold within our educational institutions. For her part, Markle has remained characteristically tight-lipped in the face of the growing maelstrom, neither offering an explanation nor an apology for her controversial wardrobe choice. However, sources close to the Duchess suggest that she remains utterly bewildered by the uproar, dismissing the criticism as yet another example of the double standards and unfair scrutiny she has endured since joining the royal ranks. Meghan is completely dumbfounded by all the outrage. She sees it as a classic case of people making a mountain out of a molehill, confided the source, who spoke on condition of anonymity. In her mind, she's a modern woman who has always been comfortable with her sexuality and her body, and she doesn't understand why that should be an issue or seen as disrespectful, even in a cultural context like Nigeria. The source went on to allege that Markle views the backlash as emblematic of the broader double standards she has faced, asserting that other members of the royal family have worn similarly revealing outfits without facing the same level of opprobrium. She feels like she's being unfairly targeted and held to a different standard than other royals, simply because she's an outspoken woman of color, the source claimed. She's pointed to instances where Kate Middleton has worn similarly revealing dresses or even bikinis in public, and no one batted an eye. It's that perceived double standard that really grates on her. Whether the Duchess's defiance in the face of cultural norms stems from a genuine lack of understanding or a more deeply rooted sense of entitlement and disregard for royal protocol is a matter of heated debate among royal watchers and cultural critics alike. This isn't the first time Meghan has shown a cavalier attitude toward adhering to long-established traditions and protocols, asserted Pauline McLaren, a professor of marketing and consumer culture at Royal Holloway, University of London. From the very start of her entry into the royal family, she has pushed boundaries and challenged conventions in a way that has rubbed many the wrong way. McLaren points to Markle's penchant for embracing a more casual, modern approach to royal fashion, eschewing the formal hats and conservative silhouettes favored by the firm's more traditional members in favor of a sleeker, more minimalist aesthetic that many view as ill-suited for a member of the British monarchy. There's a reason why those protocols and traditions exist. They aren't just arbitrary rules, but rather a reflection of the solemn duty and responsibility that comes with being a representative of the crown, Markle explained. For Meghan to so brazenly flout those norms, especially in a culturally sensitive setting like Nigeria, it speaks to a fundamental lack of understanding or appreciation for the gravity of her role. As the backlash over Markle's provocative outfit continues to rage, some cultural observers have posited that the intense scrutiny and criticism leveled at the Duchess may stem from deeper, more insidious undercurrents of racism and prejudice that have long plagued the royal institution. Let's be honest, there's a not-so-subtle undercurrent of racism and xenophobia that has colored much of the criticism directed at Meghan from the moment she arrived on the scene, asserted Dr. Kahine Andrews, a professor of Black Studies at Birmingham City University. She's a biracial American woman who doesn't conform to the narrow, Eurocentric ideals of what a royal should look or act like, and that has clearly rubbed a certain segment of the British establishment the wrong way. Andrews points to the repeated instances in which Markle's appearance, fashion choices, and even her very existence within the royal ranks have been scrutinized and dismissed in ways that her white counterparts have largely been spared. There's a clear double standard at play, where Meghan's every move and sartorial choice is dissected and lambasted in a way that her white peers are simply not subjected to, he argued. It's the perpetuation of outdated, colonial attitudes that view her as an interloper, someone who doesn't truly belong within the hallowed halls of the monarchy. As the firestorm over the Duchess's controversial outfit rages on, one thing is clear: the incident has laid bare the deep divisions and cultural fault lines that continue to shape the public's perception of Markle and her role within the royal family. Whether she emerges from this latest scandal emboldened or chastened remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: the battle to reshape the monarchy's image and traditions is far from over, and the Duchess of Sussex finds herself squarely at the epicenter of that seismic struggle.